Hi everyone, my name is Rosemary, founder of Techable Assistive Technology. Today I'd like to show you a Galaxy Android phone built-in feature which can assist you if you have difficulty in reading. The first one is Select to Speak feature available in Accessibility. This feature will read you the text you selected in websites, emails, and more. The other feature which I like to show you is the Simplified View feature in Chrome. This feature will help the user to read web articles without any visual distractions or advertisements. Okay, let's get started. To use the Select to Speak feature, you first need to turn the feature on under the accessibility. So click Settings and then click Accessibility. And here, if you don't see the Select to Speak features on the screen, you just need to click Installed Services button to see the additional accessibility features. So I'm gonna click here. And then here I see Select to Speak feature. So click Select to Speak and then click this button to turn the feature on. And when I click the button, a message stating allow Select to Speak to have full control of your phone comes up. So to use the feature, I just need to click allow and then got it. And now the feature is on. So I'm gonna go to settings now to change some settings of the Select to Speak feature. And here, tap Text to Speech settings. And then the first one, preferred engine. When I tap this, I can choose either one. It's just text to speak engine that's used by either Samsung this phone or Google. So just for the Android phone users who do not use the Samsung phones, I'll just leave it as a Google text to speech engine. So I'm gonna go back and then if you click this gear button next to the preferred engine and then click installed voice data, you can change the reading voice. So in here, I'm going to choose English United States. And then I can listen to different voice by tapping the play button.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
And then I'm gonna try the voice 2.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
And then 3.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
And I like voice 2, so I'm gonna select voice 2 by tapping here. And then I'm gonna go back one more time. And then one more time to see the text-to-speech screen. And here, the speech rate, which is how fast it's going to read it to you, can be adjusted. So if you slide this button toward the slow, then it will read slowly. Play.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
And then I'm gonna slide it toward fast. And then tap play button.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
Oh, that's too fast. So, okay, I'm gonna slide it to back to slow.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
Okay, I think that's good. So that's how I can adjust the speech rate. Okay, let me go to home and I'm going to open up Google Chrome. And then I'm going to just select one article. And when the accessibility feature like select to speak is turned on, then this accessibility button at the lower right corner appears on a screen. So to use any of the accessibility feature, I need to click this accessibility button. So I'm going to show how the select to speak feature works. So I first need to turn on the accessibility feature by tapping this button. And then I need to tap a text where I want it to start reading to me.
Keeping this threatened species safe has increasingly been an uphill battle, especially since manatees were controversially.
And then stop button to stop reading. Or I can also tap this accessibility button and then I can drag my finger over a section of text where I want it to read it to me. Like this.
Edge panel handle. Keeping this threatened species safe has increasingly been an uphill battle, especially since manatees were controversially.
And then stop button. One useful feature which I like to briefly show is the dictionary feature. So when I select a word, this three dots appear above the selected text along with other buttons. So I'm gonna tap this three dots and there is feature called dictionary. So when I tap dictionary, it gives me the definition of the word. And then I can just tap this window inside and then it expands and show the whole content. And then to exit out, just tap the X button. So I think this dictionary feature is very useful. Okay, the other feature which is available in Chrome that I like to show is the simplified view feature. The simplified view allows users to read online articles without like advertisements like this or other visual distractions. So to turn on the simplified view feature, I first need to tap this three dots icon at the top right corner and then go to settings and then go to accessibilities. And then here, there is section for simplified view for web pages. So just check this box. So now that feature is turned on. And let me open Google Chrome again. And then I'm gonna open up one of the articles. And then you can see at the bottom of the website, there is now a button says Show Simplified View. So when I click this button, see, before I click, this page has advertisement and some other like banners at the top that can be distracting. But when I click this button, the pictures and advertisements are now gone, and the page become more simple, so it's less distracting. And to turn off simplified view, just tap this X button and exit out. And now it's back to the regular page. But I'd like to point out that not all the websites support the simplified view feature. So if you don't see this button, Show Simplified View, at the bottom of the page, then the page most likely does not support the feature. Before I close the video, I'd like to show how the Select to Speak feature also works on other apps, like app other than Google Chrome. So let me open Gmail. And then I'm gonna select one of the email that I got. And again, I'm going to click this accessibility button. And I'm going to tap part of the email that I want Select to Speak star read to me.
If this was you, then you can safely ignore this email.
Then the other way, I can tap the accessibility button again, and then I'll select whole section.
Edge panel handle. If this wasn't you, your account has been compromised. Please follow these steps. 1. Reset your
And
password.
then stop
2.
button to stop reading. So as you can see, Select to Speak feature can work on any apps that support the feature, like you just saw. And of course, if I select a word and tapping, this 3 dots, I can also look up definition by tapping dictionary. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching.